Yeah, let's make sure my video's good. Okay, I'm good.
All right.
Ready? Let's do it.
Sounds good.
The improv's like.
Alright, here we go. Taylor?
Hi, yes.
Hi, my name is Bo. I'm a UNLV student PT. I'm going to be performing your initial evaluation today. I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions, and then after we're done with that questionnaire, we're going to go through some special tests, kind of determine the issue of your injury, and then we can move on with further treatment plans. Does that sound good?
That sounds great.
Alrighty, perfect. Let's do this. Before we get started, is there anything about your culture that I should know about that could have some impact on this treatment plan? So like anything with English or speaking your preferred language, so you speak English or?
English is fine.
Okay, sweet. And I noticed on your intake form, there was a couple of things that were missing. I just wanted to double check. Date of birth.
Sure, yeah. My date of birth is September 19th, 1974.
Alrighty. And how old are you?
I'm 49 years old.
Perfect. Alright, sweet. So what is the reason you are coming to physical therapy today?
I'm having some pretty bad right shoulder pain. I've been noticing it lingering for a couple months now, but it's been really bad since about 2 weeks ago when I was doing some yard work. I was just trying to trim a palm tree with the shears. It's been really bad since then.
So this motion, while you were cutting, you went in this motion and you started to feel the pain really get sharp.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, sounds good. So where in the shoulder would you say is giving you the most pain?
I would say it's just right in the front of my shoulder, right here.
Okay. Alrighty. And is the pain, are you getting like a burning, aching, piercing type of pain in your shoulder?
I'd say piercing. It's kind of a really sharp pain, especially when my arm is up overhead.
Okay. And then I saw in your intake form, your day-to-day activity, the shoulder pain is about a 1 out of 10, and then it can go up to a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10 is probably the worst. Yeah.
Okay. 6 out of 10 or more. All right. Where would you say that pain is most common? Like when you get that 6 out of 10 pain? Is it at work? Is it?
Probably at work. Yeah. When I'm carrying really heavy trays with meals on them, I get it a little bit bad at home too, especially when I'm like trying to cook.
Okay. Alrighty. And does this pain radiate? So does it go up the shoulder, to the neck, or does it go down the arm, kind of down to?
It doesn't really radiate. It mostly stays just kind of in the front of my shoulder. I would say.
Alrighty. And did you happen to get any results from a diagnostic test? Did you happen to see a physician before coming in today?
I don't have a primary care physician, no, so
Okay.
I haven't really done anything with the shoulder up until this point.
Okay. And you said this injury took place about 2-3 weeks ago, is that right?
2 weeks ago is when it started getting bad, yeah.
Okay. You had no surgery for this, and has this injury happened to you before?
I've never had shoulder issues prior to this, no.
Okay. And have you tried other methods to alleviate the pain?
I'm mostly just taking over-the-counter pain meds, so I'm taking ibuprofen probably 2 or 3 times a day right now.
Alrighty. How often are you taking ibuprofen?
2 to 3 times. 3 times if it's really bad.
Okay. And then do you happen to know the dosage off the top of your head?
I think it's the max strength ibuprofen, so I want to say 200 milligrams.
Okay. I also saw on your intake form you were taking a Lopressor as one of your medications. What is that for?
I'm taking it for high blood pressure. I got diagnosed with that probably 5 years ago.
Okay. And how often are you taking that?
Just in the mornings, once a day.
And do you know the dosage for that?
I believe it's 15 milligrams.
Alright. So let's move on to how it's affecting your lifestyle at home. What kind of home environment do you have?
I just live in a 1-bedroom apartment with my wife. I do have to, it's on the 2nd floor of my apartment complex, and it's not a very big living arrangement.
Okay. So if you were going up the stairs and you're using the railing, do you find pain whenever you're using that, or?
I do sometimes if I'm using the railing, but I get up the stairs just fine. The shoulder doesn't really bother me at all if I'm not using it. so.
Okay. All right. And so you said you had a wife at home with you.
Mhm.
Can she help you out with anything that's causing you pain? So.
She does, yeah. She's been cooking more since I haven't been able to cook for us throughout the week. And she kind of helps out around the house as well. If anything, it aggravates my shoulder.
Okay. And I saw in your intake form that you were a server. So how often are you working throughout the week?
I work full time right now. So I work 5 days a week, and it's usually 8-hour shifts. And don't really do any overtime right now.
Okay. Did you do any overtime before this injury was occurring, or has your shifts been pretty much staying the same?
I used to work quite a bit more. I would usually do a couple hours of overtime on some days if I was feeling up for it, and then sometimes I would work on the weekends on Saturday.
And I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last part. It was, so you worked a couple hours more on Sundays, and then after that?
On Saturdays usually. I used to work on the weekends. I don't really do that anymore.
Okay.
Like my shoulder's aching really bad.
Okay. How is this affecting your leisure or social life?
I really like to cook. I'm a bit of a home chef, and I do a little bit of mixology as well. I like to make cocktails for my wife and I at home. Both of those kind of aggravate my shoulder, especially if I'm trying to cook a meal or stir something for long periods of time. That really aggravates my shoulder.
Okay. Rough estimate, how long do you think it takes before the pain really starts to kick in when you're cooking?
If I'm reaching for anything in my top shelf of my pantry, that pain's immediate. It's a sharp pain. So sometimes I'll grab some of our spices from the top shelf, and that hurts really bad. But I would say usually just cooking, maybe after 30 minutes, I start to get like just a sharp pain again, but it takes a little bit longer.
Alrighty. And overall level of functioning before the injury, how would you describe that? I know you said you picked up a couple more shifts throughout the week, a couple days on Saturday, a couple times on Saturdays, pick up some extra hours.
Yeah, I definitely worked more prior to the shoulder injury. Then I'd say at home, I cook for myself and my wife 2 or 3 times a day usually. We never used to eat out before, and I haven't really been able to do that anymore.
Okay. Let's move on to some general health status, just to make sure we can check off some boxes, make sure there isn't anything else we should be concerned about.
Okay.
How physically active would you say you are?
My job as a server is pretty active. I'm standing up on my feet for hours at a time, but outside of that, I don't really work out at all, just because my asthma can get pretty bad.
Okay. So if you had to give me a scale from 0 to 10, what would you rate your overall physical activity?
Physical activity, probably a 5 or 6.
All right. And do you consume any tobacco? Do you drink?
I drink a couple times a week, but I don't consume any tobacco. I don't smoke or anything.
Okay. Alrighty. And do you happen to have any family history of high blood pressure, cancer? I know you mentioned that on your intake form.
I do have family history of high blood pressure on my mom's side of the family, but I don't think anybody else in my family has had breast cancer.
Okay. Very sweet. And is there any other underlying conditions that I should know about as well? I saw your intake form, you had allergies on there. Does that happen to?
Yeah, other than the high blood pressure, I do have allergies, but they're kind of just seasonal allergies. I do have asthma. It gets kind of bad when I work out, and then I did have skin cancer back in 2012.
Okay. And that's gone under remission, correct?
That is completely a remission.
Okay,
Yes.
sweet. What are some goals that you're hoping to achieve in physical therapy?
I'd like to get back to working. overtime shifts again, so I can pay rent each month. And then I just really love to start cooking again, making cocktails for my wife and I, every single day if I can.
Alrighty, and before we move on, just want to make sure, so with asthma, I'm assuming you get some chest pain throughout the day?
Not so much chest pain, but I can get a little shortness of breath sometimes, especially if I'm doing something really strenuous. I'm lifting heavy stuff.
Okay, does that happen to radiate to any parts of the body? Or like towards the neck, maybe towards the arms, shoulders?
No, not usually.
Not usually? Okay. Alrighty. Well, I think we've got everything. Let's go ahead and perform some special tests for you. We'll get to the issue in your shoulder, and then we'll provide a treatment plan for you, and we'll be on our way.
Alright, that sounds good.
Alrighty, thank you very much.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yep. That time I got everything.
Good to go?
Yep, that was perfect.
Okay.
I am so sorry that took
Oh my God, that was a lot of
tries. God damn it.
I assumed it was gonna take us multiple tries.
Yeah.